And I want to bring in Bobby Sausalito, who's a comedian, political commentator, Turning Point USA contributor. Bobby, nice to see you.
Likewise. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, of course. Seems like the left can get away with denying the elections. The right, of course, is held to a different standard. But for, more so, Hobbs is running for governor of Arizona. She will not debate Kari Lake. Do you think Arizonans should be outraged?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's so disrespectful to a person to say that you're not even going to have a conversation with them. And I just made a video the other night about the fact that a lot of these people that are electing these governors for 4 years or senators for 6 years, they really don't pay attention until the very end. At least the vast majority of people don't. And they sometimes will get a 1 hour debate, and that may be it. So you're talking 1 hour debate plus the questions. 50% of the time is spent attacking the other person's personal life, or maybe the record that they have or don't. So it's like, if you're not even going to give them 1 hour, the disrespect that shows to the people that are your constituents who you're supposed to represent, it's so blatant. It blows my mind that people would even consider voting for a person like that, regardless of party.
It should be in the law, right? You have to debate if you're running for office.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one for more laws, but I do think that would be reasonable. But I really think that at the end of the day, a lot of the problems that the world faces today are because people don't hold the people that are supposed to represent them accountable. If enough people made a stink about it, they would do it. It's just there's not enough people that plan on voting for this woman that think it's worthy for her to debate. And certainly the completely biased, bought and paid for lamestream media is certainly not going to hold her to account. These people are not journalists anymore. They represent the establishment, they represent the status quo, and they have absolutely no interest in doing actual journalism. They collect their paycheck at the end of the week like everybody else. They go home fat, happy, and rich. They don't care about the accountability. And the word journalist is a lost art for anybody that's on one of these mainstream platforms.
Really, really, really sad. Yes. I think, one of the biggest issues for voters, too, is the economy. Inflation is at a 40-year high. We've been reporting that inflation is causing more Americans to fall behind on their monthly bills. And in one of your videos, Bobby, you bring up a really good point that inflation is poison. Explain it.
Yeah, inflation is poison because it ruins so many aspects of your life. And what I think is kind of the most fundamental building block of health is food and your ability to access high quality food. So if you have a couple of kids at home and you have to choose between a $5 2-liter bottle of orange juice versus a 2-liter bottle of soda for $1.25, sometimes you have no choice but to do that. Your rent's not going to change. Your insurance is not going to change. Your gas is expensive. Your car's not getting any less expensive. The one place that you can cut is food. So you're literally choosing to poison not only yourself, but your children because you have no other choice. The only other choice is no food at all. So it's just sad that inflation is so much more than, they say it's a rich person problem. It's an upper crust problem. It's not. It's a lower and middle class problem. And it's literally causing people to forego medicines, forego quality food, because all of your fixed costs are staying the same or going up. So it is literally poison.
Yeah, and it's only going to get worse. It's expected to get worse with the recession. You live in Florida. How are things going after Hurricane Ian? I mean, DeSantis has been praised for how he's handled things, but people like New York Times reporter Maggie Haberman, she was quick to blame DeSantis for delayed evacuations in Lee County just one day before the hurricane made landfall. I mean, meteorologists were tracking Ian, and DeSantis doesn't have a say in where the hurricane goes. But it's interesting because, they're always looking for a reason to find a mistake.
That's right. And I mean, every person in Florida, whether they're on that side of the state or not, would agree that what Governor DeSantis done has been top shelf. And it's like, what more could the guy possibly do than he already did? People in Florida understand how hurricanes work. We understand that the path is inconclusive. We understand that they give you 20 different directions that it could go, and it may end up going none of those directions. The guy did the best that he could. And it's such a perfect kind of analogy for the world. It's like, I'm going to blame the rain on this guy. I'm going to blame a storm on this guy. It's like, he has done absolutely everything right in so many ways that I think people in Florida are certainly pleased with him. It's funny, when I first moved to Florida from Connecticut, I always thought that Florida was the butt of the joke for the majority of America. They're always like, oh, Florida man, a guy robs a liquor store with an alligator or something like that. And it's like you kind of think of Floridians as like a lower crust type of people, when in actuality, the people here are highly intelligent and very caring for one another. And they just believe in freedom, and they believe in their neighbors. And this storm has shown a lot of that for the people on the West Coast, how they're standing up. So Florida is a wonderful place, and everybody else can make fun of us all they want, but we know that we got the best governor in America, and in a lot of ways the best policies of any state in America.
Yeah, a lot of the residents there are very much engaged and very jealous of Florida and your governor, because a lot of Californians have moved there. That's for sure. Bobby Sausalito. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of friends who moved there.
I see the California plates around all the time. And DeSantis said one time, he's like, I don't see very many Florida plates in California, but we see California plates here all the time.
Yeah, that's for sure. Bobby Sausalito, thanks for being here. Really enjoyed our conversation.
Thanks so much for having me again.
Thank you. An Arizona woman